only at Burger King.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Friday, the 10th day of July 2026, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on our wet roads this morning, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle, remember to observe the rules of the road, and the life you save may just be your own. So, part of that, observing the rules of the road, using common sense as well, and good defensive driving tactics. Number one, ensure that you have your windshield wipers are functioning properly, operating properly as well. Use them, put them on. Don't rely on your good eyesight. If it's raining, put them on. Increase the distance between you and the vehicle in front of you, because your ability to stop is reduced as a result of the wet roads. Ensure that you use your indicators, because people need to see more as well. And adjust your speed. In most instances, you need to reduce it to compensate for the driving conditions as well. Folks, please follow those rules on our roads this morning. When it's raining, it is even more dangerous than when the road surface is dry as well. So, for those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, we want to wish you a happy birthday or a happy belated birthday. And to remind you that the For the Record birthday shout out is brought to you by Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes from generation to generation. Coca-Cola, still a Cayman classic. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. And again this morning, to the family of our national hero, the late Francine Jackson, we want to extend our condolences to the entire family as well. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we want to wish you a speedy recovery. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy and sometimes dangerous roads of the Cayman Islands. into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I have the distinct honor and pleasure of being your host. My name is Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. If you're calling from a flow number, there is a toll-free number that is available to you. That toll-free number is 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990. WhatsApp number 925-3261. So first of all, let's look at the birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola. We see... First of all, I think we want to look at yesterday's birthdays. Miss Gloria Glidden celebrated her birthday yesterday, along with Miss Jennifer Watson, also celebrated her birthday yesterday, and Simone Scott celebrated her birthday yesterday as well. Tomorrow, Mr. Lyndon Lethan Martin will celebrate his birthday. Edith Valeris will also celebrate a birthday tomorrow. Robert Brown will celebrate a birthday tomorrow. Richard Anderson, known as Lion Spice. I don't know if that's entertainers. Yeah, okay. Annalie Ebanks will celebrate a birthday on Sunday, the 12th of July. Annalie's from the BRAC. Okay, big shout out to the BRAC. Miss Annalie Ebanks celebrating her birthday on Sunday, and I am told that she is a thatch expert as well. So does she do the ground baskets? Because when I inquire, all I want to know is about the ground basket and a nice big straw hat. When you're out there in the hot sun as well. Also, Mr. Renwick Connolly will celebrate his birthday on the 12th of July. And then Mr. Winston Connolly will celebrate his birthday on Monday, the 13th of July. So he'll get a mention today. And God willing, on Monday, we will give him a birthday shout-out as well. I think we have covered all of those, but I do have WhatsApp messages that people have sent in to me in relation to birthdays as well. So I think this is coming. Okay. Happy birthday to Jesse O'Donnell. Hi, Jesse. Happy birthday to you. Jesse, former colleague at the Immigration Department with me as well. So Miss Jessie O'Donnell, Brianna Hides, Woodrow Walton, all celebrating birthdays today. I think this is coming from Miss Chastain. And Saturday's birthday, Miss Aretha Wright will celebrate her birthday, and Sandra Hides will celebrate a birthday tomorrow. Sunday's birthdays, Janice Chisholm and Mr. Renwick Connolly gets a second mention as well. So she shared that with us. I still have one more here. I have been asked to please wish granddaughter Kania James a happy 19th birthday today. Birthday greetings are coming from Grandma Ruth James, Dad Dwayne, Mom Latoya, sisters, auntie, uncles, cousins, with lots of love on your special day. May God continue to bless you always. Do we want to go to the caller, the commercial? Can we go to the commercial break now? This way we don't have to interrupt, and we can go straight to 8 o'clock with the calls afterwards. So, folks, we do have a caller on hold. Caller, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we return, we will converse with you. So don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Looking for the ultimate place to watch the world's biggest football tournament? Head to Legends Bar and Grill, Coca-Cola's headquarters for every match. It's the closest you'll feel to being at the games live with Coca-Cola mixer specials all tournament long. Feel the energy and cheer on your favorite team surrounded by your country colors. Can't make it out? No problem. Order Legends' famous menu for home delivery and bring the matchday experience to your living room. Legends Bar and Grill, your World Cup Coca-Cola headquarters.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit cineco.ky today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or belly fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN money transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
Babe, not tonight. You keep poking me and I need to be rested for meetings tomorrow.
What? I was almost asleep. That's the mattress spring I keep telling you about, not me. We really need to get a new mattress.
Tossing and turning, back hurting, can't sleep? It might be time to turn in your old mattress and go to bed with a new one. Browse the huge mattress showroom at Brand Source Home Gallery and pick the perfect mattress today. With mattresses to suit every budget, Brand Source Home Gallery stocks a wide selection of sizes and styles like pillow top and gel memory foam. So stop tossing and turning and sleep better tonight with a new mattress from Brand Source Home Gallery, Dawson Drive, Industrial Park.
Hello, this is Roy Tatum, your Member of Parliament for Red Bay. Congratulations to Radio Cayman on 50 remarkable years. For half a century, Radio Cayman has been more than a radio station. It has been the voice of our people, the heartbeat of these islands, present through every storm and every celebration and every chapter of our story as Caymanians. A special thank you to every staff member, past and present, whose dedication and passion built this legacy we treasure so deeply. On behalf of the people of the constituency of Red Bay, I thank you, Radio Cayman, and may your signal carry us proudly into the next 50 years. God bless. This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. One of our listeners, I'm not sure, don't have permission to call her name, so I won't, but she has sent me, Miss Susan, she has sent me a photograph of Miss Annalie's handiworks. Two hats and one ground basket that she, this listener has shared with me, and she says, my friend, Miss Annalie in Cayman Brack. Let's go to our caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning there, Mr. O.C. Connor.
Good morning. How art thou?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm fine. Thank you.
You're limiting my air time by having those people on the radio so early in the morning.
Yeah. We're going to probably have to have you know what you could do? What you could probably do, right? You could pay for a spot on a Radio Cayman, right, Miss Susan? You could, a 15-minute slot on here, for you to air your views.
Okay.
You could probably be sponsored by TCE Paint Shop.
Paint Shop. That young fellow over there.
Yes.
Yeah. And then my cousin, my first cousin, being the director there, Norma, I might get a discount too. Maybe I didn't know that.
That would constitute a conflict of interest. You wouldn't get that. You should probably charge you more because you're family.
Well, see, Christmas go by favors, remember? All right. Well, I don't know whether I could be complaining or what I could be doing this morning, but I got to start off by saying this to set the pace here now, or my concern for what I got asked for in the end.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that the French authorities are looking into taking Senator Amarello, I think is her name, from Paraguay, to be reprimanded in some way for making derogatory remarks about one of their top football stars, Mbappe. She went as far as calling him a monkey and various different names, right? And they are looking into trying to get her reprimanded in some way.
I think they're looking. They're going to French prosecutors, so it would be in the French courts to do it now. It's probably not an I'm not sure whether or not it would be an extraditable offense where they would seek to extradite her, but I'm sure that there is a possibility that she could be charged and prosecuted in absentia, meaning in her absence. If she chooses not to go to France to face the proceedings, then she, they could go ahead and do it in her absence. I think that is what they're looking at.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So they're going as far as doing that to a senator. Okay. Here I have one of my close friends, a West Bayer. And the West Bayers are a little pale skin that can almost pass sometime as not being black. Or, they might mistake them as maybe a foreigner and not a real Caymanian.
Mm-hmm.
So he's at one of the local places on the West Bay Road and watching the game. And there's two newcomers out of Canada, I could call that, having a conversation with their Canadian bartender.
Mm.
The Canadian bartender are telling them that, don't worry, it's easy to make a lot of money here in Cayman. It's so easy to circumvent the system here, especially if you know somebody, right? And the persons that were there might have made reference about, well, what about the locals? How they go about that. His answer to them was that, don't worry about the locals. Half of them are stupid or uneducated. Half of us, half of the man say half of us is either stupid or uneducated, right? My guy who was there is one of them, similar to me, up in your face. Take him on, which I thought that, but he was so upset that he never even thought about recording.
Yeah, I was going to say, I hope that conversation was recorded.
Well, also, see, that's the last thing we got to think about now. We right away now, it's a word like that and a blow. That's the era we come from, me and you, right? So that was, you put him up. So that was his first thought, and he took him on. And he told him, you mean to tell me you're so intelligent that you had to leave your country, come all the way here to get a job into a place where stupid and uneducated people have created? to make a safe haven for you, you should be ashamed yourself for making such remarks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, and he then went on to tell him, he said, the same how that you think that you can circumvent the system because you know someone. He said, I know someone too that can deal with you and your little whatever permit it is you got remaining on it. That was his conversation with him. So I said all that to say this, and I brought in the Amarillo senator to back up this, justify my request now.
Mm-hmm.
We should implement something too, where if people are here on whatever caused them to be here and not one of us, and making such derogatory remarks about us Caymanians like that, permit should be canceled and send him home too. Just like how they want to take this lady to court for calling their star player a monkey.
Mm-hmm.
You call us stupid and uneducated.
Mm-hmm.
So how about that? Will you tell me what you got to say about that, Osi?
Well, I can understand the Caymanian who was there getting, quite emotional and taking the stance that he took. But sometimes we have to be, and not criticizing him in any way, but sometimes we have to be much more strategic. Listen to them. Go along with the conversation. Talk with them and elicit information from them in terms of, where they're working, what they're doing and things of that nature. Oh, I may even have an opportunity for you to partner, with a Caymanian in a business and stuff, and extract all of that information, because right now, we don't have a recording, we don't have any photographs of the individual or anything, so absolutely nothing can be done.
We'll see. But nothing can be done, right? Like now. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see, back in the day, that bar would be mashed up, right?
Well,
so we had, you don't remember?
Yeah.
They in the coup and the Welcome Brothers from East End. You don't remember them?
Oh yeah. Eh? If they didn't want to serve Caymanians and things of that nature, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right. So I would say he got off lucky. That should have been, even today, I got boys up on Hill in East End that they wouldn't have thought about recording either. So what I'm saying now, you don't want us to mash up the bar, you're saying. You don't want us to start a fight. Well, let's then put something in place, like how I just said, that once we can prove or we can get complaints about a certain individual that are here, and we don't need a recording sometime either. If we can get 3 or 4 people
same argument,
right? Written argument, signed affidavit, whatever, concerning that individual, then we need to put something in place where we can have that person out here. We can't have people coming here and earning off the soil that we toiled, that our people toil from time began. Now you got to come here, like Mr. McLean said, Honorable McLean. Don't know the story, but now reaping the glory. No, we cannot put up with that no more, OC. That have to stop.
Yeah, but if we...
people that I notice now, OC, coming here that are showing disrespect are doing nothing but provoking a social uprising. And we're not necessarily... That's not the mind necessarily of Cayman people. But you're provoking that to happen. That need to stop. And we need to stop it one way or the next by any means necessary. Okay? That's what I got to say today. So I don't know if you want to simmer that down and try to tell us the way we should go about it.
Well, my advice is we have to be much more... Yeah, we have to be much more strategic in this. And we also have to bear in mind that, we are a country of laws as well. So we have to ensure that whatever we do, that it involves due process, as well. We can't just, on the word of someone, summarily cancel, a work permit, or, there are ways of doing that too. You talk to the employer and say, hey, listen, this guy here doesn't represent what Cayman is all about. I'm not sure whether or not he represents your company and the values that your company hold, but you may want to do something about himself. So again, we have to be strategic. Engage them and engage them and get the information that you need. Otherwise, we end up with a situation where it is relayed to Graham, and Graham relays it on, for the record, on Radio Cayman, but we can't go any further with it.
Yeah, well, see, somebody should have told that to my mother, grandmother, uncle there about in my district when I was growing up. They didn't wait to get no evidence. They heard something about you and they were beating you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, our conversation on Wednesday, so remember we were talking about qualifications for the Legislative Assembly and the whole issue when you were talking about the qualifications for someone to be a member of the Legislative Assembly. So section 61, starting subsection 1 says, subject to section 62, a person shall be qualified to be elected as a member of the Legislative Assembly if, and shall not be qualified to be elected unless. So the person, he or she has to be a Caymanian, and so now these are, I know you have your question about definition of Caymanian and all that, but these are a combination of things that must take place, right? He or she must be Caymanian, and he or she must have attained the age of 21 years of age, and, all included, he or she, at the date of his or her nomination for election, domiciled and resident in the islands, and again, all of those things I read before, they all included, he or she is a qualified citizen, and either, here's the part now that we were talking about, he or she was born in the Cayman Islands or was born outside of the Cayman Islands in circumstances mentioned in subsection 2B. And here's what subsection 2B talks about. If you were born outside the Cayman Islands, has or had at least one parent or grandparent who was born in the Cayman Islands and is a Caymanian, or if deceased would be, or if deceased would, if alive, have been a Caymanian at the date of nomination for election, and who is at the date of his or her nomination for election possesses no other citizenship save for any right he or she may have to some other citizenship by virtue of his or her birth outside the island. So that part, what I wanted to point out there for you is, you had to have a parent or a grandparent born in the Cayman Islands.
Okay. But, see, that don't go far enough for me, because somebody who came here a couple of years ago, and now their child born here, now they already got grandchildren, so their grandchildren now can, and they were status holders, their grandchildren now can run for election.
The child of the parent born in the Cayman Islands. But remember now, there are other qualifications as well. Isn't that just that one? There are others as well. Anyway, Lord Graham, we've reached that top of the hour. When we return, folks, we're going to have two of the most powerful women in the Cayman Islands, and yet at the same time, the two most humble women in the Cayman Islands in the studio with us. I won't tell you who they are, but I believe that you can guess. So don't change that dial, because they will be with us on For the Record as soon as we return from the 8 o'clock news. So please stay tuned.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. Cayman is getting hit with another Saharan dust plume.
Sahara dust is expected to be a returning feature throughout this summer.
Chief Medical Officer Dr. Hilary Wolf says Saharan dust events can reduce air quality and affect respiratory health, particularly among vulnerable individuals, leading to coughing, wheezing, sore throat, and shortness of breath. And you're encouraged to take precautions during dust alert periods like limiting your time outdoors, keeping doors and windows closed, and using air conditioners on recirculation mode. If you've got a respiratory illness, make sure to keep your inhaler and medications handy and also wear a mask.
Anyone experiencing worsening respiratory symptoms should contact their healthcare provider.
Based on information from the National Weather Service, the effects of the dust cloud are expected to begin tonight and persist through Sunday. The Department of E-Government is encouraging Cayman Islands residents to include the government-issued Cayman Islands identification card, MyEID, in their 2026 hurricane season preparedness plans, as reliable identification is, quote, essential to accessing emergency services and recovery assistance across all 3 islands. MyEID is an official government-issued photo ID available to eligible residents of all ages, including Caymanians, civil servants, and their dependents. In the event of a hurricane or other emergency, having a secure and portable form of ID ready may be useful in circumstances where identification is needed in connection with emergency response or recovery activities, like where identity or immigration status must be confirmed for access to services, assistance, shelters, or other arrangements. If you don't yet have a card, you can visit myeid.egov.ky for application information. Atlas has started migrating.
This summer, DOE is running a sea turtle satellite tracking project, and Atlas is one of the first turtles tagged this year. She had an acoustic tag and a satellite transmitter attached on the 4th of June, and since then we've been able to follow her movements in local waters as she moved around in Grand Cayman.
Department of Environment turtle expert Dr. Janice Blumenthal tells Radio Cayman Atlas had a successful season, laying 7 nests before she started heading north.
This is something that we would never be able to do without this technology and understand the areas that she uses when she's not home nesting for the summer.
Thanks to satellite tracking sponsored by Maples Group, you can join the DOE as they follow her journey towards the country where she will live between nesting seasons. Head to doe.ky/turtle tracker to watch her trip, as well as check in on her friends Amber, Watts, and Mini-Me, who were fitted with satellite and acoustic tags as well while nesting in Grand Cayman. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller.
BBC News with Danielle Yawowiecka. Research by the BBC has established that foreigners from more than 40 countries are now known to have died fighting for Russia in Ukraine. The BBC Russian service maintains a list of named service personnel who've been killed, which shows that at least 3,500 foreigners have died fighting for Russia. At least 12 people have died in a wildfire in the Almeria region of southern Spain. Several victims were found in their cars. Hundreds of emergency responders are working to contain the blaze. France is activating an extreme heat emergency plan for the first time in all areas. 9 departments in western France are being put on the highest heatwave alert today, and 24 will be affected on Saturday. The International Energy Agency says that the escalation in the conflict between the US and Iran has cast a shadow over the outlook for global oil markets. No new strikes have taken place overnight, but the situation remains volatile. A passenger on board a flight from Thessaloniki in Greece to Memmingen in Germany had to have medical attention after a window dislodged in flight. Reports say the 61-year-old man from Serbia was partially sucked out of the opening before the aircraft, operated by a subsidiary of Ryanair, Malta Air, landed safely. Japan's lower house of parliament has passed a bill aimed at averting a looming succession crisis for the imperial family. The bill would allow women to keep their imperial status after marriage, but women will still not be allowed to reign as emperor. BBC News.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
The 7:20 a.m. Weather Report, Monday through Friday, is brought to you by Credit Union. On the road to 50 years of serving our members. Visit creditunion.ky to join today.
The 8 a.m. Weather Update, brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first.
Pleasant good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 82 degrees. Relative humidity is 93%. The barometric pressure is 1015.2 millibars. The wind is out of the east at 9 knots. Synopsis indicate a tropical wave will drift westward away from the Cayman area today. Another but less intense tropical wave is expected to begin drifting over the Western Caribbean by late Friday, which may bring a few isolated showers tonight. The influence of a low-level jet will support fresh to locally strong winds and maintain rough seas. A small craft advisory will remain in effect for the next few days. A layer of Saharan dust is expected to move into the Western Caribbean later today. A dust alert will be in effect from tonight. Radar imagery shows scattered showers with embedded thunderstorms in and around the Cayman area, moving generally westward. Now the forecast for today calling for occasionally cloudy skies at first with a 40% chance of showers and possible thunder, gradually becoming partly cloudy and hazier later. Temperatures today will be in the low 90s. Winds will be easterly at 15 to 20 knots with possible higher gusts, and seas will be rough with wave heights of 5 to 7 feet. A small craft advisory will be in effect for both today and tonight. Forecast for tonight calling for partly cloudy and hazy skies with a 20% chance of showers. A dust alert is in effect for tonight and temperatures falling near the low 80s. Winds will be easterly at 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts, and seas will be rough with wave heights of 5 to 7 feet. Today's low tide will be this afternoon at 12:18. High tide again tonight at 7:25. The sun will set this evening at 6 minutes past 7 and will rise tomorrow morning at 5:55. And the outlook is calling for similar marine conditions to persist through Sunday, with a small craft advisory being maintained as a result. A moderate to locally thick concentration of Saharan dust will bring hazy and drier conditions this weekend. Therefore, the dust alert will be maintained as a result. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
We were set to battle, and your Aunt Angie was leading the pack when...
Aunt Angie, what does this have to do with car damage?
Oh, right. Well, long story long. I took down the assassins and wound up inventing a new form of mixed martial arts. I became an international champion until one sore loser karate kicked my car. But I was covered with CG.
Covered for malicious damage and more. CG Britcay. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
The 8 a.m. Weather Update, brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first.
Craving something bold, juicy, and packed with flavor? Introducing KFC's new crispy barbecue sandwich served on a soft, buttery brioche bun. That's 100% KFC premium chicken breast, perfectly crispy, deliciously smoky with crispy onions, cheddar cheese, and barbecue sauce. Just the right amount of messy in the best way possible. Stacked with layers of bold KFC flavor, this sandwich is your new obsession. But hurry, it's only at KFC for a limited time. So what are you waiting for? Get yours today at any of the 3 KFC locations on island. KFC, finger licking good, just got bolder.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
on a daily basis, making it easy to connect with you, our listeners. Add us to WhatsApp today, 925-3261. That's 925-3261.
Radio Cayman.
Send a text or voice note.
Message us at 925-3261 on WhatsApp today and get active with Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Top of the morning, let's check in with traffic, see what's flowing. Roads are wet, so please drive with extra care. Traffic on Huldah Avenue is steady, coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, moderate flow of traffic. As we look to the east on Shamrock Road, traffic is flowing at a moderate pace. Further down, different story. As you approach the Linford-Pearson Highway, traffic a little steadier. Slight delays expected. And coming off of the Linford-Pearson Highway and Agnes Way, moving at a moderate pace. Godfrey-Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue, flowing pretty good in both directions. And coming off of the Esterly-Tibbetts Highway, traffic steady but flowing. And continuing on to North Sound Road, Industrial Park area, moving at a moderate pace. Turning towards the West Bay Road and from the Ritz, traffic is moderate in both directions. No issues on Owen Roberts Drive, and coming from the West Bay four-way stop, flowing at a moderate pace. If you've seen any accidents or incidents, let us know by calling us at 949-6990. That's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic.
Start your year off right with Subway's Fresh Fit menu. 4 protein pack subs with 20 grams or more protein, under 500 calories, and loaded with full servings of crisp veggies on hearty multi-grain bread. Try the grilled chicken and avocado, the ham and turkey stacker, the seasoned steak and avocado, or the turkey and ranch delight. Big flavor, plenty of protein, and fresh veggies in every bite. Fuel your day the Fresh Fit way. Only at Subway. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
The Water Authority Cayman advises residents of Georgetown of a planned service interruption and temporary road closure this coming weekend. On Sunday, July 12th, between 12:30 a.m. and 6 a.m., customers in the Crew Road area will experience a temporary interruption in their water service while crews install 4 new main line valves. Affected areas include Smith Road between Huldah Avenue and Crew Road between Agnes Way and Birchwood Drive, and the surrounding neighborhood, including Arundel Lane, Crusader Way, Glenmont Close, Rosemont Close, Agnes Way, Grace Street, Rose Lane, Lakespur Way, Desmond Drive, Our Haven Way, Haven Close, Clarence Drive, Belmont Close, and Captain Osmond's Place. Motorists should also note that the eastbound lane of Crew Road near Agnes Way will be closed to traffic from 11:30 p.m. Saturday night through 7:30 a.m. Sunday morning. Flagmen will be on site to direct traffic, and drivers are asked to proceed with caution through the area. The Water Authority thanks the public for their patience and understanding and apologizes for any inconvenience. For more information, contact the Water Authority Cayman at 345-949-2827 during business hours 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m.
This is the People's Radio Station. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Those of you who were with us before we went to our 8 o'clock news, you heard me speaking with Lord Graham and quoting Section 61 of our Constitution. In advance of this interview coming up, I'm going to share with you Section 34 of the Cayman Islands Constitution Order 2009. Section 34:1 says that there shall be a deputy governor who shall be such person as Her Majesty, in this case now His Majesty, may designate as such by instructions given through a Secretary of State, and who shall hold office at His Majesty's pleasure. Subsection 2 says a person shall not be designated as deputy governor unless, so these are some of the qualities, he or she is a Caymanian and he or she holds or has held a senior position in the public service and is still eligible to hold public office. Subsection 3. For the purposes of subsection 2, senior position in the public service means head of department or head of a statutory authority or government-owned company or above. So at least person must be head of department, head of a statutory authority or above. And subsection 4, the deputy governor shall have such functions as subject to this Constitution and any other law may be delegated to him or her by the governor acting in his or her discretion. It says, under the authority of the governor, the deputy governor shall, not if or maybe, shall be the head of the civil service. So, folks, with that, it is my pleasure to have the two most powerful women in the Cayman Islands. And I say that without reservation because if there are more powerful women out there in the private sector, I don't know about them. We don't hear about them. And maybe their power may be associated with how much they earn. In this case, we have the two most powerful and yet the two humblest persons, ladies, in the Cayman Islands. Governor of the Cayman Islands, Jane Owen, and Deputy Governor of the Cayman Islands, Miss Gloria McField-Nixon. Ladies, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, and thank you, O.C.
Good morning, Mr. Connor. It's so wonderful to be here. Thank you.
Okay, just do a little bit of housekeeping as well. We will be opening up the phone lines for you to converse with the governor and the DG at some point in time. We will let you know when. Meanwhile, if you have any questions or comments, you can send them to us on our WhatsApp number, 925-3261. Please make them as short as possible. Otherwise, I have to paraphrase them to ensure that, that we try to preserve as much time as we can. So, Governor, Deputy Governor, again, my pleasure to have you on For the Record this morning as well. I'm sure that this will be one of many appearances that you will make on, talk shows, on television as well. I would imagine for the next 100 days, the DG is going to be a very, very busy person. But we'll start with you, Governor, and tell us, about the appointing process. Who was in charge of the vetting, final decisions that are made? Of course, we know what the Constitution says in relation to that, and anything that you can share with us in terms of things that factored into the decision.
Thank you very much, O.C. Well, good morning. It's great to be here with our new DG, Miss Gloria, this morning. The first thing I wanted to say before I got onto that was just to welcome all our listeners and to say how important a week I think this week has been. It's the week where we've said a formal goodbye to our wonderful previous DG, Frans Manderson, with whom I so enjoyed working. And there's been this great outpouring of recognition of everything he's done. And I think looking back on that has really made us realise and internalise just how important the role of the Deputy Governor is that Ms. Gloria is now taking over. So I'm so delighted this week from Wednesday to be able to have been welcoming Ms. Gloria into the job. And I just wanted to say three things that I'd really like our listeners to bear in mind as we look forward to this new era, really, for Cayman. The first is that it represents an awful lot of continuity.
Yes.
So that is the most important thing to say. Miss Gloria is so well prepared for this role. She's seen it all. She's done some of it. She's been prepared for it. So continuity is really the name of the game. But of course, the second thing to say, and Frans Manderson would, I'm sure, endorse this, is that as we look to the future, we need to think about how we're going to innovate, how are we going to be prepared, what is coming around the corner. So it's about continuity, but it's very much about looking to the future and being prepared to have that kind of gradual change, transformation, development, whatever we need. The third thing I wanted to say, because, we're talking about my role, Miss Gloria's role, DG's role, but it is a team effort. And DG has been really emphasising that. So we obviously will continue. We are a team. We're a team with the elected government and with Premier Ebanks and his cabinet. We have a really key team of chief officers, deputy chief officers, heads of department, and in fact all of the leaders, people who are showing leadership at every single level of the civil service. And I know that DG is looking out more widely as well to how can we create teams, consultation, involvement, whether it's with the business community, the wider civil society. So it's a team effort. That's the third thing I wanted to say. So you were asking about the recruitment. Yes, we had a panel. There was me, there was Woody Foster, there was Lemuel Hurlston. Thank you very much to Mr. Foster and Mr. Hurlston for being part of that. Okay. It was quite a grueling process, as I'm sure Miss Gloria will testify to. But what were we looking for? We were looking for somebody who had the experience, who had the lived evidence that they had performed at that kind of leadership level, but also somebody who was able to work and lead a team, very obviously, but also someone who had the vision of where are we going, and I think, and it was absolutely unanimous, absolutely clear that Miss Gloria was the woman for the job. So that's why we've arrived at this point.
And can you speak to the process that you have in the civil service where you allow chief officers to rotate to act as deputy governors as well, and how that helps in the process?
Absolutely. As I'm reflecting on the pathway to getting to this position, Mr. Manderson left me a message on my desk as he was outgoing, and I opened it up on day 2. I dared not open it up on day 1, but I opened it on day 2. And as I was reading through his thoughts about what we have experienced together, it really highlighted to me the wisdom in his approach of rotating the opportunities to act for him. Since Mr. Manderson became deputy governor, he opened that up, and as his chief officer for his entire tenure as deputy governor, I had many opportunities to act. We have 5 chief officers that are in rotation, with me coming out now as becoming deputy governor. There's an opening, and I've already spoken to one chief officer whom I know has extensive experience and will bring a woman back to the table of that rotation. But in that rotation, I've had opportunities not just to lead from an administrative perspective in the decisions that you take. I've sat in the hot seat during storms that have confronted the Cayman Islands. I've sat in the hot seat on more occasions that I can count when I've been at PAC, and also in bringing major legislation to Parliament. I've had the opportunities of representing the Cayman Islands abroad. I've participated in forums with the other deputy governors of the other overseas territories, so I'm a very known factor to them as well, which certainly helps in hastening the relationships that we have there and continuing them. And I've had the opportunity, most importantly, to work very closely with Her Excellency the Governor. This has meant participating in National Security Council meetings. This has meant participating in meetings with Premier and others, and the opportunity to also understand the soft diplomacy that the governor's office extends. And I recall very recently, even prior to the role being advertised, the governor gave me the opportunity of hosting the Red Cross at her residence. And stepping in for her as patron of that. And that just demonstrated the significant exposure that I had benefited from in my position as chief officer, and other chief officers as well in that opportunity. So we have a very strong leadership team as a result of the exposure we've all been given in that rotation. And I think that is something that I inherit as a strength going forward as well, is that so many chiefs have had that exposure in the deputy governor's role.
Now, we know over the years that a very strong, binding, collaborative relationship has been built between the governor's office and the Cayman Islands Civil Service Association. Can you speak to that? And, you know, of course, coming into the role of deputy governor, it is extremely important that you have the support of the civil service as well. And if you can talk some about, you know, how you will go about ensuring that that support is there.
Absolutely. So, Mr. Carter, you will know I am a past president of the Civil Service Association myself, and from my very earliest days was heavily involved in using that means as a way of promoting awareness of the contributions of civil servants and celebrating many individuals. We introduced at that time recognition for long service, not just for our uniformed services, but for our rank and file. So very important role. We meet with them on topical matters, and certainly I will be looking to lean on them very heavily as we're consulting on the way forward. I can tell you that in addition to the association, we have many direct ways of communicating now with civil servants. One of those is the use of our town hall. So technology has given us the ability to reach out to hundreds of civil servants at a time on very topical matters. I'll be scheduling my first as deputy governor very shortly. And there's always a change agenda within the civil service, as you know. So in addition to things that we do collectively across the entire civil service, we also have our meetings where we go into departments and have those conversations on things that may have more particular local impact. As I'm looking at some of the legislation that I will be responsible for implementing, including some of the changes in our immigration rules, that's when we will have, more face-to-face conversations. And as deputy governor, I will have the opportunity of going to the departments that are most keenly impacted to talk to them about what that means and answering their questions. So the engagement with the civil service is huge. And one of the things that we have introduced since 2017 is also our annual engagement survey. So we give every single civil servant the opportunity to have voice in matters and to give us feedback about what's going well and what isn't going so well, so that we can identify what are the top matters that we need to address. So the ways that we engage are both through the staff association, the ability to talk directly to hundreds of civil servants at a time, the ability to have more one-on-ones with key teams when necessary. But every single year, we give every single civil servant the opportunity to weigh in on things that matter.
Excellent, excellent. Governor, we're going to ask you if you have anything to add to that, but we're going to go to a commercial break. And when we return, the conversation will continue with the Governor of the Cayman Islands, Honorable Jane Owen, and Deputy Governor of the Cayman Islands, Honorable Ms. Gloria McField-Nixon. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit cineco.ky today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive,
Hey, what's
Industrial
up, Radio
Park.
Cayman? It's Jay and Ez sending warm wishes on your 50th anniversary. I remember back in the days doing Youth Flex every week after school with Mr. Jamo and Mr. Joel, promoting my music and sporting events. It's been a wonderful journey, and I'm thrilled to celebrate it with you. Thank you for your continuous support and inspiring our community. Cheers to many more years. Happy 50th anniversary, Radio Cayman. Love and blessings.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us in the studio with me this morning, Governor Jane Owen and Deputy Governor Ms. Gloria McField-Nixon. Before we went to the commercial break, the Deputy Governor, DG, she was talking about the relationship between her office and the Civil Service Association, and she herself being a former president of the Cayman Islands Civil Service Association as well. Just want to say again, when we open up the phone lines, or if you want to send WhatsApp messages, please do so as well. And Governor and DG, because this is not a political situation, I would imagine that if civil servants want to call in and say hi and wish the DG, give greetings and well wishes to the DG, they can do so as well. Or if they don't want to be identified, they can just send us a WhatsApp message, as well. Because, folks, you're going to have to deal with her. She's going to be your leader. I can't predict how long, but however long that is, she is going to be your leader. So here is another opportunity for you to converse with her as well. Governor, over to you if you anything that you want to add in relation to the relationship with the Civil Service Association and civil servants.
Yeah, thank you very much, O.C. I think you also mentioned the relationship with the Governor's office, and I thought that maybe would be a useful thing to touch on. So I don't know how many of the listeners know, but we have a really small Governor's office, and it sits in the GAB, in the Government Admin Building. And that's a wonderful place for us to sit, because it is so important, guys, that we actually are part of the whole system. It really helps us to work together as a team. But the other thing I wanted to say is that I think the Governor's office is really crucial, because although we've only got like 7 or 8 people in it, it acts as a really important link between the UK, which is 6,000 miles away, and everything that's going on here. And it helps to facilitate when we are handling some tricky problems, whether it's on security issues, supporting our police commissioner, supporting the head of the prison, thinking about how we're going to do safeguarding of our children and adult population, vulnerable population, in an even better, even more enlightened way. Sometimes whether we're talking about issues about health or environment, which are completely devolved here in Cayman. But nevertheless, it's always good to figure out what are the international norms, or how is it being done in the UK. So that is where we're able to link in with the Foreign Ministry in the UK, which has a much bigger team, which is looking at the overseas territories. but also it enables us to link across the whole of the British government. So we work quite a lot, don't we, DG, with the Department of Health, the Department of Science and Innovation, the Department of Justice. So it acts as a really useful link. So I'm very proud of the work that my tiny team in the Governor's Office do. And we feel very pleased that we are part of this very dynamic team within Cayman's civil service, but more widely reaching out into the community as well.
And if I could just add to that, Governor, also the work that and support that we receive from the UK on disaster management, hurricane preparations, being able to see the crisis center in the UK when I had the recent trip, just looking at the types of support services and coordination that is stood up in the event that we have any major risk facing us. So I think that has also been a huge differentiator for us that's really helped us. And I've sort of grown up with this close working relationship, almost to the point that I took it for granted that this is the way it is everywhere. And I just have to say, this is a big part of what makes Cayman so special. We've talked about the types of relationships that exist, public sector and private sector, and the way that that has benefited our tourism and financial services centers. But I can tell you that the close working relationship between the governor's office with the civil service, with the elected government has also been a huge benefit to these islands. When I think back to just as recently as COVID and what it meant for us to be able to have access to vaccines so quickly, that literally saved lives and allowed this country to reopen its borders without the concern that particularly our elderly population would be at risk. So there is so many advantages to this relationship. And personally, in this role as head of the civil service, it is a huge advantage to me to have the governor as a sounding board as well. As I navigate these issues. And I know Mr. Manderson has said this has always been something that was a huge benefit to him as well.
Okay, and speaking about those opportunities and those connections, there was recently, I think it was just yesterday, a press release about from the Ministry of Health and a ministry delegation going to the UK to strengthen their public health partnership at a UK OT conference just recently as well, and they had the opportunity to go to within the councils and see what is taking place there as well.
That's across the board. The Minister of Education was recently in the UK for an education conference. The Minister responsible for border control was recently in the UK reaching out as well. So I think we have a regular expressions of that connection that happen not just on the civil service side, but politically as well.
And sometimes the public, because of their lack of awareness, may feel that when civil servants travel abroad, that it's a big holiday, for them. Can you talk about, the benefits, derived from traveling, from visiting other jurisdictions, from interacting with other jurisdictions as well?
It's absolutely crucial. When we're talking about being a world-class civil service, it's very important that we be exposed to what that means, not just within the confines of what it means to be better within Cayman, but what it means for Cayman to stand tall in the world. So we've been very explicit about looking at how we benchmark. Even within civil service performance, and as we looked at engagement, we built our engagement survey on the UK survey, which has allowed us to benchmark against the UK, but also being able to look at what we consider to be highly performing, public sectors in Canada, and Australia and elsewhere. So that's very important. Having that confidence to be on the world stage is also very important as we're supporting our ministers in defending the Cayman Islands in far-swung places around the world. So if I think about the work that happens with the Ministry of Financial Services and the Premier and Chief Officer Dax Basdeo, they have to be on the world stage in order to make sure we can defend our ability to continue to thrive in our financial services industry. If I think about what's happening in tourism. We've got to take our product to the world and be able to promote it. And certainly as it relates to the delivery of public services, we have a very diverse population. Caymanians travel a lot themselves. They're exposed to what world class looks like. And so it's very important that those of us responsible for service delivery continue to understand what the modernized offerings are elsewhere and meet or exceed them here at home.
Certainly. Ms. Gloria, you spoke about the soft diplomacy in the governor. And we have had governors, in the past who drove themselves around on weekends. They'd go to the farmer's market or they'd go to the various, districts. As a matter of fact, while I was deputy supervisor of elections, along with Mr. Colonel Gomez, we had a governor who actually wanted to drive around on election day, but we dissuaded him from doing that. And then you had other governors, who would visit people's home, and there's a story in East End in terms of a gentleman who would sell bootleg, alcohol, sell from his house. And, when the governor came there, he offered him a drink and stuff like that. How important is that, soft diplomacy in your role as a governor?
Oh, I think it's incredibly important. It's an aspect of my role that I really love. I greatly enjoy it when we open up Government House and have different groups of people coming along and hear about their experience. The other day we had quite a large team of social workers, people who are working in our civil service to deliver services to vulnerable families, families who are struggling. It's so interesting to hear about how we can better serve the community and to hear from the people who are really in the front line actually coming up with these ideas and providing this service. So I love doing that. I love getting out and about. Of course, I drive myself around. I have a very clapped out Honda Fit. It's probably not the safest car in the world. I think it's quite old as well. Anyway, I bought it off the previous governor, and I love to drive. I enjoy driving, so I love to get around the island myself and to feel that independence. So you'll quite often see me driving to the pickleball court as well at a weekend to have a game, though anyone who's watched me play pickle will confirm to you that I'm still not very good at it.
Okay.
But I would say as well, within moments of meeting the governor, I think anyone who has interacted with her just speaks about her warmth, the way that she not just figuratively but literally embraces you upon greeting you, the way that she gets to know everything about, in the true Caymanian fashion, she gets to know who you are and who's your family, and the details that she remembers. Grayson lights up. My son Grayson lights up every time she sees him, and she says, "Good morning, Grayson." The governor's remembered me. And when I just think about, when you talk about opening the doors of Government House and the hundreds and hundreds of people that go through there, I recall my first time going to Government House. I had participated in an essay competition, and I got to choose one adult that I could take with me, and I chose my grandfather. He was up in age at that time. We got there in our Nissan Sunny, and he pulled in, and it was his first time being at Government House. And I can't tell which of us was more nervous going in. But now that I think about just how open and accessible you've made Government House, the King's Birthdays events, the hundreds of people from all the districts came and bracketed her down. Governor, the diplomacy that you exert and demonstrate personally in the way that you do so with large numbers, I think is truly admirable.
And one of the last little interactions I had was when Miss Francine, the late Miss Francine, invited me over to tea at her house. Wow. And it was such an amazing experience. And she was such a great hostess. She was there at the door. She was walking around. She was making sure everyone had enough cake. And it was just beautiful to be able to sit there with her family and to hear their stories, and particularly to hear from Miss Francine all of the things she had achieved in her amazing life. So that kind of experience is really important for any governor, I think.
Excellent. With that, folks, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
My mom Mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning Governor of the Cayman Islands, Miss Jane Owen, and Deputy Governor of the Cayman Islands, Miss Gloria McField-Nixon. Don't forget, if you have any questions or comments, please send them to our WhatsApp number, 925-3261. In a while, we're going to open up the phone lines as well to give you an opportunity to call in if you have any questions or comments as well. Meanwhile, our Constitution in relation to the position of Deputy Governor points out that the Deputy Governor shall be the head of the civil service. But in addition to that, also she acts in your stead when you're off the island as well. And for those who may believe that acting as governor is simply a ceremonial position, can you elaborate on the role of the deputy governor when they're acting as governor, because you preside over cabinet, you have to have the lines of communications between the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office and the Governor's Office here as well. Can you talk to that, starting with you, Governor?
I mean, I think it's a really important aspect of our Constitution. It's not replicated across quite all of the overseas territories either. I think it is different in Bermuda, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So I think it is very important that we, in Cayman, we have a long-serving, experienced Caymanian who takes on this role when the governor is not around. And of course the world does not stop when I go on holiday. So everything continues, and that means the requirement, as you say, to talk to London, to work with my office here, and very importantly, as you also mentioned, to chair cabinet. And that's why the role is such a key one. The position is approved by the Secretary of State. His Majesty the King is informed about it. So it is it is one of the highest offices in the land, and we have to respect it as such.
Yes.
And, you know, that also means working very closely with the Premier and his cabinet, keeping him informed of key issues, making sure that any concerns that are coming up at that level are being very keenly responded to by the civil service. It means keeping a keen eye on national security matters while the governor's away. So there are some very sensitive and important matters to attend to, in addition to obviously maintaining the diplomacy, the access that happens, and that I'm privileged to support the governor in. There's some very key functions that I become responsible for. And while I've had extensive experience in acting for the deputy governor and carrying out these responsibilities, I've never had the opportunity to act as governor. So I'm very much looking forward to supporting the governor in that regard, as well as that is a very distinct function of the deputy governor's role.
It certainly is. We see the civil service continue to evolve. We know that as more demands are placed on the government, it means that you need more people to respond to those demands as well. And so we have challenges coming up with AI to a certain extent. But can you speak to some of the vision that you have for the civil service in terms of moving forward? So many things have been implemented over the years. We have the civil service college now, yes, where people can either do in person or online work as well. So many initiatives that the DG's office has taken on. Talk about maintaining those as well as developing others.
Well, I've been very fortunate as in my former position as the chief officer for the portfolio of the civil service, that as the former deputy governor had his vision, it was really up to my role to make sure that those were delivered and fulfilled. And so you talked about the road that we've had, our journey to becoming a world-class civil service, where we've been very much focused on 6 pillars, and we have identified these in our strategy. Talent development has been a significant part of that. Talent development that was focused on leadership, to make sure that our leaders had that capacity to lead our workforce that is perhaps the most diverse that it ever has been. When you look at the age range of people that are currently within the workforce, it calls for a different form of leadership to inspire and motivate them all to deliver to their best. We've been very much realizing that the roles that are called on within the civil service to respond to the challenges that confront the Cayman Islands are always evolving. So we need to make sure that our civil servants understand the need to continuously upskill, not just because of the demands that are being placed on us by technology, but also because of the complexity of the challenges that are confronting Cayman. The need for us to be able to work across silos in order to make movement on the really wicked problems that confront not just the Cayman Islands, but that governments and countries around the world are contending with. We've also been looking very closely at governance, the things that allow the public and international community to continue to have confidence in this jurisdiction. And so the civil service plays a very important part in that, and our portfolio supports the various constitutional commissions that are a big part of making sure that that everyone within Cayman can continue to have the correct safeguards and confidence. In terms of the way forward, we would be looking to embrace technology to make sure that some of the tremendous work that's been happening under Minister Isaac Rankin and Chief Officer Ms. Nellie Pucci on the innovation side. So we have already in place an AI policy. There's been excellent infrastructure that's been put in place to augment our civil service workforce, giving us the means to be able to use technology to better support what has been the fastest growing population. And we've just seen, when we talk about the demands that the government has placed on it, a lot of this has been in responding to the realities of our population growth. And so as we're looking to contrast the ways we may have responded to the growth in demand for services, we'll be leaning more on technology to help us be able to have every person's impact, and productivity enhanced by using more digital tools. We're also looking at the way that we organize ourselves. As we went through our financial reforms, we created various ministries, and each ministry created their own sort of teams to do all of the sort of administrative services that supported that. And as we've grown larger, we realized that there are some opportunities to streamline that in order to create more efficiencies in the way we deliver our services. So HR, finance, communications being some of the key services that we'd be able to deliver more efficiently through the way we structure ourselves. And we've started those communications within our organization. And then there's also just the way that we can just make it easier for every civil servant to have common tools that are available to them. The things we take for granted in our private life, we want to make sure that we're leveraging in our professional lives. So this is really about the way that we're able to deploy technology in simplest things that we do. So some of the ways that we're able to have tools that take our minutes, and tools that are able to do things like synthesizing our first draft of communications, and things that are able to help us be able to identify the themes that are emerging from larger and larger data sets that we have. I've revealed I've already had my first senior leadership team meeting, and in that meeting, chief officers were receiving their updated executive dashboards, real-time information about what is their single largest area of expense, which is on their people impact. So headcount against budget, expenditure against budget, and working with the Ministry of Finance to give them greater electronic tools for how they can forecast what this means in the future. So we've seen our senior leadership team very much leaning into technology to help them have a better grasp of what's happening in real time. And our key policy and decision makers, we're providing more and more of that type of information to them electronically, so that we're better informed in the way that we take decisions. So even our policy making and decision making will be informed by the use of technology.
Yeah, because we did see after Hurricane Ivan, for instance, and people probably tired of me mentioning this now, but what ECLAC discovered was that the lack of data in the Cayman Islands at that point in time, it was extremely difficult, to make projections or to determine exactly where we were, because we didn't have the data that's available. So what you talk about now certainly, puts us in a much better position, for that as well.
Absolutely. And we got a lot better with our data sources, but they were still fragmented. They weren't talking to each other. So for us to be able to get that big picture of what this data means, we need to make sure that we can have technology sitting above it, so that we're able to look at the information from different perspectives in order to get a better view of what we can expect in the future, but also what are some of our key pain points at present.
Okay, we're going to go to our headline news. When we return, DG, you spoke about the town halls, right? And I want you to talk some more, about that in terms of your ability to communicate with members of the civil service. Because we know at one point in time when you would have these in-house or in-person meetings, the only time that you could get the civil service to respond was if it had anything to do with a salary increase. But we know now that the whole approach that civil servants have taken now, it is more than just, a salary why they're in the civil service as well. And we'd like you to talk more about that. And folks, after we return from the news, the phone lines will be open as well if you want to call in, if you have any questions or comments, or if you just want to say hello to the governor, hello to the deputy governor. And you don't have to be a civil servant. Anyone, if you want to call in and, speak about your views in terms of the civil service and the way forward, please feel free to do so. For the record, we'll be back immediately after headline news.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
The Miss Universe Cayman Islands pageant is taking place on July 11th at Pedro St. James with a cocktail reception starting at 6 o'clock, followed by the pageant at 7. You can get your tickets for tomorrow's event at Funky Monkey or online at ticketsplus.ky. In international news, at least 12 people have died in a wildfire in southern Spain, with early indications suggesting 4 of the victims are British. Hundreds of emergency responders are working to extinguish the blaze. Officials say they've never seen such a, quote, devastating fire. The bodies of the victims were found near a small village, while 23 others are still missing and hundreds of residents have been evacuated. The fire is, quote, more or less under control, according to the mayor of the nearby town Antas. But, quote, if the wind picks up again, things could get complicated. Meanwhile, the UK Foreign Office is in touch with relevant authorities in Spain over the, quote, concerning reports of British casualties. A sustained heat wave with temperatures around 104 degrees have caused wildfires across southern Europe this summer. And Andy Burnham has taken another step towards becoming the next Labour leader and Prime Minister of the UK after the vast majority of Labour MPs nominated him to replace Sir Keir Starmer. Burnham's Labour leadership bid has been backed by 322 out of 403 Labour MPs, as he remains the only declared candidate. It makes him just one short of the 323 needed before it's mathematically impossible for a rival to run against him. Some MPs say they were not able to vote on Thursday, but will back Burnham once they're back in Parliament. Those are your headlines. I'm Kersley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Your Cayman Islands Health Services Authority has been the national healthcare provider of the Cayman Islands for many generations. We have elevated our level of care to ensure you, our patients, have the best possible experience. We offer better access to care close to home with the most locations on all 3 islands, delivering a full range of primary, secondary, tertiary, and emergency care. HSA is a JCI accredited organization, and we are committed to caring for you.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, it is my distinct honor and pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning Governor Jane Owen and Deputy Governor Miss Gloria McField-Nixon. One of our listeners said, "Morning, OC, could you ask the governor if she visits older persons who are unable to get out about and around anymore?" And then the person says, "Hi, Governor. Governor Owen, my daughter works for you."
Fantastic. Well, I hope your daughter is enjoying her role in the civil service, and that's certainly one of the things that I know DG has focused on very much during her time as head of POCS as well, is the idea that it's not just about the salary. The salary is important, but it's about the ability of people to have good wellness, enjoyment, fulfillment at work, and that's maybe something we can touch on a bit. Yes, I do occasionally go around sometimes and visit older people. In fact, one of the most enjoyable things I did relatively recently was go round with the Meals on Wheels group, and that was really amazing. Went round on a Thursday lunchtime, visited maybe 9 or 10 houses, elderly ladies and a couple of gentlemen, and it was really fulfilling and felt very rewarding to be able to go round, deliver some hot food, but also, very importantly, to be able to deliver a listening ear and have a proper conversation with these people. And in many cases, it was really good to see their helpers in the house that were making sure that they can get out and about. And I know there are institutions like Meals on Wheels, but also the Red Cross, who provide really important services for helping people to get out of the house to hospital or whatever. So I really take my hats off to all those people. And I think it's an amazing aspect of Cayman society that we do try very hard to look after everyone in the community.
Okay, ladies, I'm going to ask you to put your headphones on, and we want to make sure that you can, the volume and everything is fine. And then before we take the caller, can you hear me, both of you?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, Miss Susan, we're going to take the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yes, good morning, OC.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
It's some time I haven't talked to you, man.
Okay, yep. Have a question or comment for the governor?
Well,
or deputy governor, sorry.
You know, I want to say my sincere congratulations to the Honorable Gloria McField on her new position as deputy governor.
Thank you so very much, sir. That means everything to me. Thank you.
And good morning to the governor herself.
Good morning, sir.
Ms. Gloria, I want to say, you know, all my respect for the McField family. It started with Teacher McField way back in the 60s. He was the leader of one of Cayman's best bands.
Martians.
And my brother was a singer in that band, and I wanted to sing. And Teacher, he started to show me things, like how to control my voice and everything like that. So, you know, my respect started there for the McField family. And I still have that respect today, especially your mother. You know, the time that I spent around her when I needed help, she was there for me. And she's so much like my mother. Mm. And I remember one afternoon meeting you at Countryside, and we had a little discussion. You know, I think I told you that I had lost my fingers off my left hand when I was 11 years old. Mm. But today, I don't have words to explain how really, really, really proud and glad I am as a Caymanian elder to see that God has given us this blessing again in my lifetime to see a Caymanian woman in this position. Speaking of my true feelings, all these top positions today, I would love to see Caymanians in them before I depart this life. I want to thank you, and God go with you, Mrs. McField, for the rest of your journey, and the governor as well, and OC as well, and Susan as well. God go with you. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, sir.
Very touching, very
Thank you.
touching. Thank you, caller, for that as well.
Thank you. And I just want to say to the caller, thank you so very much as well for recognizing my mom. She's had a huge, huge influence on me. What I can say is, as the announcement was made about me becoming deputy governor designate at the time, one of the things that was most outstanding for me, and I think that I hadn't truly appreciated, was the tremendous outpouring of love. Celebration, yes, for me in getting this position, but what it really symbolized for so many people across the community. It was really something that was very humbling for me to understand just the amount of passion that people across the community have had whenever Caymanians are able to rise up and to take positions, but how many were particularly excited to see this happen for a woman. And it has been something that I've taken particularly to my heart, to make sure that I strive always to maintain that pride in the way that I conduct myself in this office, but that I'm mindful as well as I continue to mentor and support other Caymanians so that they too can have that day and have that outpouring of love that I was able to receive. So I've never had a proper opportunity to say, but to all of you, for all of the messages that have come in to me directly via phone and social media, messages through my family members, and you all will know there's a large McField family presence in these Cayman Islands and indeed abroad. And it has just meant absolutely everything to me. It has been the wind underneath my wings, and I will strive always to continue to make you proud. And I look forward in the days and years ahead of celebrating with other Caymanians as they also achieve new heights within the country. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. We have another caller. Let's grab that caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
See.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. It's me again.
Yep.
Yeah. I too would like to say congratulations to DGM Gloria McField-Nixon, and they could not find a better person, in my opinion, for the job. I see the way she conducts herself in Parliament, and not even just in Parliament, but throughout her career. And I had a word with the former DP, Deputy Governor, concerning who would have got the job, and I told him too that I hope that he was batting for her. And, not that it was a trap, but just to get a feel, and yes, that's what I want to say. Congratulations. And OC, the former deputy governor was my good friend, and he was married to my cousin. I want you to know that the now deputy governor is my cousin too. So you be careful how you try to cut me off. You be careful how you try to cut me off. I might have somebody that I can complain to.
Yes.
All right? Okay. All right. Congratulations again, Gloria.
Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Thank you. And one of our listeners has written and said, good morning. Congratulations to our new deputy governor. So wonderful to have one of our capable Caymanians be at the highest level of our civil service. You are picking up the mantle from a great outgoing deputy governor who has done a commendable job. We are living in a very fast-moving world, and many tests will come your way. However, with all confidence, I am certain that your brave heart will take us through those times.
Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Beautiful.
And I believe I have another one here. I haven't had a chance to preview it first, but this person says, good morning, Mr. Connor. Huge congratulations to Mrs. Gloria McField-Nixon. Praying for her that she will continue to have the strength, courage, and wisdom to continue in her role with fairness to all. Decisions may not always be popular, but let them be fair. Good morning also to our governor, and I really like the new haircut. So I want to thank that writer as well, and give both of you an opportunity to comment before we go to our commercial break.
Well, thank you. Thanks for the comment on the hair as well. Also, I really endorse what the previous person who wrote in said about fairness. And in fact, I think today, or maybe yesterday, was the day where we have been launching, together with Honourable Premier and the head of our Commission for Standards in Public Life, we've been launching a new campaign, a sort of consultative campaign to talk about our standards in public life and what it means to have the degree of high standards that we currently have in Cayman about integrity and honesty, and as your caller said, about objectivity, neutrality, fairness, and what that means and how we can continue to develop it for the future. And I think Mr. Woody Foster, who's the chair of our Commission for Standards in Public Life, is very keen to work together with our elected politicians, but to get the feedback from the whole community about how we can continue to embed this. Why is it important? Well, it's obviously important for Cayman's international reputation, not least for our financial services, but it's absolutely vital for every single person who lives here, all of our Caymanians, all of our residents, that they feel that confidence and that trust, particularly in our civil service and the whole public service, that the way we are conducting our systems, the way we're making our decisions is done with full ability to display objectivity and great integrity. So I think that's a really good thing. So I'm very excited about this campaign. And thank you, caller.
Okay.
Thank you.
With that, we're going to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Babe, not tonight. You keep poking me and I need to be rested for meetings tomorrow.
What? I was almost asleep. That's the mattress spring I keep telling you about, not me. We really need to get a new mattress.
Tossing and turning, back hurting, can't sleep? It might be time to turn in your old mattress and go to bed with a new one. Browse the huge mattress showroom at Brand Source Home Gallery and pick the perfect mattress today. With mattresses to suit every budget, Brand Source Home Gallery stocks a wide selection of sizes and styles like pillow top and gel memory foam. So stop tossing and turning and sleep better tonight with a new mattress from Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning.
Ouch!
When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Radio Cayman News.
It's the end of an era.
The Honourable Franz Manderson has walked out of the Government Administration Building for the last time.
I see how much the civil service love and respect me, and I want them to know that feeling is mutual. Thank you.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
7 days a week.
Looking for a station that plays the music you actually love?
Switch now to Breeze 105.3 FM.
The best adult contemporary hits
of the 70s, 80s,
and more. All day, every day. Feel good. Sing along and let the breeze keep you company.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, my pleasure to have in the studio Governor Jane Owen and Deputy Governor Ms. Gloria McField-Nixon. One of our listeners has written and said good morning to you and your panel. the first male caller. He was one of the first persons I remember calling in to suggest Miss Gloria would be the choice as the next DG. I join in congratulating Mrs. Gloria. Blessings.
Thank you.
And I do remember that caller when he called in as well. So Governor, from a historical standpoint, two specific portfolios of responsibility, immigration and prisons, were also under the governor's office. We saw that change. The first change actually, taking place when, again, a McField, who became a minister, decided that he wanted to shoulder the responsibilities of, having prisons under his portfolio, because he had done all of his work, graduate, postgraduate work in that area, sociology, as well, and wanted to take a different approach to incarceration. So now we have immigration and prisons under elected ministers. Do you see the possibility of an expansion of that and maybe more portfolio responsibilities being shifted that now fall within the civil service?
Yeah, thank you very much, OC. I mean, I guess looking at the future, there's all sorts of things you could probably do with the Constitution, so we'll have to see how that goes, but that would involve a negotiation, wouldn't it? But it's really interesting that you raised the question of prisons, because it's a great example where prisons is a really important piece of internal security. And although the prison director, Danny Greaves, who's excellent, by the way, does not directly report to me. Nevertheless, I work with him really closely, because obviously everything we're doing on prisons has a big impact on the whole internal security infrastructure. So like everything in Cayman, everything is a partnership. If you look at the police, where Commissioner Kurt Walton, who is actually in the UK at the moment, he's at the meeting of all OT commissioners, which is another great example about how we share expertise, including with the UK. Kurt does report to me, but his kind of ministry bit, as Miss Gloria knows, falls under the Premier. So it has been kind of delegated to a minister who happens to be the Premier, and of course the Coast Guard the same. So if you look at all the different aspects of security, which is police, Coast Guard, of course the prison, also many aspects of the customs and borders, and also aspects that are within Minister Rankin's ministry regarding safeguarding, but also cyber security. These are all areas where we all have to work together. And it seems to me it's very often not quite so important about what does the Constitution say about who's in charge, but it's about what does the UK think about how this is all going. Very importantly, how is Premier sorting it all out within his elected cabinet, and how are we all working together? Because we're very clear, we're all serving the people, we're all serving the country, and we're trying to make it stronger, and we're working very hard to make ourselves as safe as possible in what is an increasingly volatile region, frankly.
Yeah, and we're also able, you will recall, Mr. Connor, from years past, one of the big difficulties we had before with, sort of drawing the lines and feeling it, this was all mine and this was all yours, is, to the governor's point, we have to work in partnership. The elected government will always have the power of the purse. And for our ability to be able to ensure that we can keep Cayman safe, something that both Caymanians and visitors alike put such a high premium on, we have to make sure that we have this full support of the government, the ability to bring the legislative agenda. You have to continuously be updating our rules in order to stay ahead of the criminals that would try to take advantage otherwise of the population. We need to make sure that the police have the equipment that's necessary and the headcount to respond to the way that crime itself evolves. So much of what we do in this area is also underpins our ability to be a financial services center. So, there's significant economic ramifications as well to this all working. And when we think about what it means to be Caymanian, a big part of this is about being able to put our heads on our pillows at night and not have to worry, being able to drive to work in the morning and not have to fear for our life. So many people think that this is just, of course, you're going to have that. Your population is small. It has been very, a real moment of insight for me to understand how so many of our other, even overseas territories are struggling with this. So we've struck the right note. We have the right partnership. A lot of these responsibilities have been devolved for financial management and support in the operations, but the governor is able to make sure that we still have internal security that is so crucial to keeping Cayman safe, but also in making sure that our key industries, financial services and tourism, are able to be as successful as they are.
Okay. One of the highlights of the Mr. Manderson's tenure, and someone mentioned this in one of the WhatsApp messages, had to do with a second chance program, I believe it is. Mm-hmm. And if you could speak to that in terms of your vision, for that, and possibly expanding it.
Certainly. So Second Chances is one of the provisions that we have been operating within the portfolio of the civil service. There are two key what we call specialist recruitment programs. One has been Second Chances. The other has been our Emerging Talent program. Okay. For our Second Chances, I can tell you that we have had 22 people through the program since it was introduced, I think, in 2019. And we have had only 4 individuals that have come out of the program during that time, one of whom went on to start his own business, and that was the reason for him leaving. Okay. And that program has had tremendous impact, one, in those individuals' lives, their families' lives, but also having them within our organization has really helped to debunk a lot of the stereotype that have otherwise frustrated employment opportunities for people who've paid their debt to society and have successfully rehabilitated themselves. The way that those individuals have performed has been so inspiring that we have heads of departments saying, do you have anyone in the program that's cleared? This is a position that we have here. I can tell you that it has enjoyed the support of successive governments, and as recently as our recent meeting in Parliament, we were able to get supplementary funding. So over the course of this year and next year, the government has appropriated $1 million towards the Second Chances program. We're immediately in the process of onboarding an additional 10 persons and giving them that opportunity. What's so amazing about the program is we use this funding to create that opening of the door. We bring them in through their probationary period, but once they satisfy that, they enter into open-ended contracts within departments across our civil service. It used to be that we had a particular profile and, we were getting individuals who were coming in with low skills. And now we're seeing that when persons have had a setback in life that has led to their incarceration, but they've come out, we've been able to put people back onto a steady path from many different types of backgrounds, including people who are highly skilled. Mm-hmm. This isn't just about, again, making their lives better in the instant, but it also means we're breaking recidivism within the community. It is far cheaper, far better for our community, far better for Caymanian men and women to be put back onto a pathway where they can be productive citizens than the money we would otherwise spend to keep them locked up in prison. Mm-hmm. And so this program pays dividends in so many ways, and seeing the family members, the children who get their parents back, and those parents have the dignity of being able to come back with an honest day's work and having a career path ahead of them again. So it's a program we're very, very proud of.
And if one has an interest, how does one qualify or get information in relation to the program?
Absolutely. So I would invite persons to certainly send me a message, and my number is 916-1024. Happy to receive your messages that way. We have a coordinator, Ms. Charlene Howell-Litchmore. So charlene.howell-litchmore@gov.ky, and by next week, if it isn't already up this week, we've updated our application form for Second Chances, and it will also be seen on our POCS website. So pocs.gov.ky is another way for you to be able to submit your interest in being a part of that program.
Okay, ladies, we're going to take a commercial break. On the other side of the commercial break, we'd like to talk about your successor, Miss Gloria, as well. We don't want to leave her out of the conversation, so we want to talk about your successor. Folks, don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. Lots more to talk about with Governor Jane Owen and DG Miss Gloria McField-Nixon. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have less than half an hour to go with the two most powerful women in the Cayman Islands, but yet the humblest women in the Cayman Islands, as well. You've heard talk about soft diplomacy, using soft power as well, and they can be tough when it becomes necessary as well. And those two persons are Governor Jane Owen and DG Miss Gloria McField-Nixon. Before I throw the mic back over to our guests, one of our listeners wanted us to send belated birthday shout out to their daughter, Tiffany Hides. Her birthday was yesterday, and birthday greetings are coming from KK Ray, her sisters, Crystal and Jasmine, as well. So happy belated birthday to Tiffany Hides, coming from your mom, KK, Dad Ray, sisters, Crystal and Jasmine. I believe we do have a caller. So before we go to your successor, we're going to grab the caller. I believe the caller is on WhatsApp. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hello, good morning, Mr. OC. Rambo speaking.
Good morning, Rambo. How are you?
Yeah, good morning. Blessings, my shower blessings. Good morning to the panel, the governor, and the deputy governor. Walking on, Mr. OC, give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Okay, I'm going to ask you just because I'm accustomed to listening to you. I'm going to ask you, if possible, slow it down a little bit, so our guests, will be able to follow you as well. Okay. Go ahead, caller.
Enunciation. Okay, this is the deputy governor. A couple of weeks ago, the former deputy governor, Mr. Madison, he was on a different platform. He said that for second chance opportunities, and a violent offender, you have to wait 5 years, right, till that time lapse out to go to the civil servants. So I don't know if that is confirmed there. Right, but first of all, Mr. OC, into the panel, I really don't want to work in a civil servant because I'm on this OC. I live called talk show, and nobody suppressing me. You understand? If I work private sector, I call it lunchtime or break time. We're working hours. Okay, so I just want to confirm it there because he said it a different forum platform. He said this in. But my situation is binary, twofold, propagation, aggravation. For years, self-defense. Unfortunately, I don't have a local last name. I talk to the man in the mirror. Okay? Have a good day, ladies and Mr. OC.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We have another caller on our landline. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Oh, not bad. I'm thankful. And good morning to the two strong ladies, Deputy Governor, Mistress Gloria McField-Nixon, and our good governor as well, Mistress Miss Jean Owen.
Morning.
Good morning.
I wish both of you ladies the strength and continued wisdom and all that is necessary to do your jobs at your best. Is not much. I don't think it's appropriate for me to say very much, but I wish you all the best and continued strength and wisdom, continued wisdom, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. You do the same as well. Ladies?
Thank you so much. And for all of those well wishes, they are so very much welcomed. And to have the community be so supportive of the civil service, the leadership within the civil service is absolutely tremendous. I know we had the prior caller was asking about our assessment factors for Second Chances program, and I also wanted to give him an answer. A big part of evaluating our employment decisions is our ability to assess whether that person is at high risk of reoffending. Our ability to understand when it's a violent situation, the likelihood that that person would be in a position where a potential victim would be exposed to that individual. So those are some of the factors that we have to take into consideration. We speak a lot to the people responsible for supporting rehabilitation. We want to understand, has this individual truly set themselves on a new path? And we want to make sure that as we meet with them, where's their mindset? Every civil servant, conviction or no conviction, is hired against our values. So we want to make sure that this individual understands what it means to be a civil servant. There's been discussions about the fact that we do have some restrictions on our freedom of speech in order to make sure that we are always able to command the confidence of the government of the day. That is so important when you think about having a small country. In order for us to keep Caymanians at high positions at all levels, we need to make sure that we conduct ourselves in a way that we can maintain the confidence of the current government and any future government as well. So
Amen.
That's so important. But we also need to make sure that we understand our conduct rules and not bringing the civil service into disrepute. So there's got to be a real commitment to not doing that on a go-forward basis. That's a big part of our assessments when we bring people into our Second Chances program.
Governor, anything you want to add to that?
No, I mean, other than to say, as DG mentioned, I also really support the Second Chances program, but also, as Gloria just said, it's only going to work if we make sure that we are implementing it in a really clear, objective and effective way, and I think that's what's being aimed to do.
Okay. Now, DG, we know when we had the former DG in the studio last, he spoke about your successor, and he wanted to leave that decision, that choice to you, because that person, would be working closely with you, and it would be extremely important for you, to have, the confidence in that individual. Let's talk about that choice, will you?
Yes. So once I had been confirmed as Deputy Governor Designate, the very important task that was left to me was figuring out how I would backfill the very important position of Chief Officer for POCS. And so we ran an internal recruitment process within the civil service. I was privileged to have as part of that panel 2 private sector members, Mr. Taron Jackman as well as Mr. Orman Williams, who participated in that panel. Another rigorous process. And through that, I'm very happy to say that Ms. Lauren Knight was able to succeed me in the role of Chief Officer. Ms. Lauren has been on an interesting path. Mr. Manderson and I both began as interns within the civil service. We spent time in the private sector when we pursued our articles before being called to the bar. But Lauren comes from a different path. She began her career at CUC in the private sector and joined us mid-career. She came into our internal audit profession, worked her way up through the ranks. We saw high potential in her. She was on a succession path to be a director of internal audit, which included supporting her for 18 months, where she was embedded in the UK's internal audit function, where she conducted audits as part of that team. And then she returned to the Cayman Islands just before COVID. During COVID, I gave her an opportunity to get policy and leadership experience as well. So she joined the team as an acting deputy chief officer. She was very instrumental in our ability to execute the government's plans during COVID. And she, to quote her, fell in love with policy. She's been very instrumental in developing key policies within our civil service, the most recent being the revisions to our disciplinary regs. Before that, she's done tremendous work to support families with amending the legislation that enhances family leave within the civil service. She's continued her education while within our civil service, obtaining leadership qualifications, as well as being trained in how to handle emergency situations as part of our NEOC, National Emergency Apparatus. She's been a tremendous right hand to me there, and so she put her hat into the ring, and I'm very happy to say that she will be succeeding me in that position. The team within both the core portfolio itself, but the wider civil service, has again come out with just huge support, which I completely concur with. She has demonstrated as well that she has soft diplomacy, but is able to take the difficult decisions when we need to, which is so important in the role. And I have had a tremendous working relationship with Ms. Knight, and I'm incredibly proud of her growth and development in the role. And I know that she will lead the portfolio of the civil service with distinction. This is a very important role. It supports myself, it supports the governor, but this portfolio is responsible for our human resource policy, public sector reform, and supporting good governance across the organization. So I'm very happy that Lauren has been the person that's been confirmed, and I have every confidence in her ability to take the portfolio forward.
Excellent. With that, we're going to take a commercial break. We have a few callers on hold. We're going to take those callers as soon as we return. So don't hang up. Hold on. We will be back shortly.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Happy 50th anniversary, Radio Cayman. 50 years of history, culture, sports, special events, news, music, and more. Your official voice for 50 years. Building up the Cayman Islands, we're here for you. The voice of the Cayman Islands, Radio Cayman. Happy 50th anniversary from JJ the Iceman.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record and this historic discussion with the two most powerful yet the two humblest women in the Cayman Islands, Governor Jane Owen and Deputy Governor Miss Gloria McField-Nixon. We have a few callers on hold. Miss Susan, which one we're going to first? We're going to the WhatsApp caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
Good morning. And does A still come before B, Mr. Connor?
I believe so, unless AI has changed something.
Okay, why I say that, I will say good morning to the governor, Ms. Zoins. Good morning. And you look very beautiful this morning. And to her island lady, I think between Shaden Road there, Mrs. Gloria, this is Mr. Shillette, and I'm just calling to tell you that I'm wishing you all the best for the term that you are starting up with all the success. And remember always that, as Mr. Connor just said, you two ladies are the most important ladies that we have on the island. And I'm congratulating you, Mrs. Nixon, on your appointment. And Mr. Connor can also wow to that I called him more than once saying if you didn't receive that position, that I would have to, I'm going to make a riot.
Strongly object. Okay.
So congratulations, Mrs. Nixon, and again, good morning to Mrs. Owens.
Morning, thanks.
Thank you very much, caller. Let's grab our next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hello.
Good morning. Welcome.
Hi, good morning. Two things. Good morning, Governor, and good morning, DB.
Good morning.
Just want to say thanks, number one, because I know this is a big task, DG, and I have no doubt in mind you're going to do great. I've already seen you in action. When I heard you were selected, I was like, I know we're going to be heading in the right direction. But what I wanted to make mention, or I guess put in a request, I might have to send you an email, but is there a program in education that captures the students who are leaving year 11 who are not interested in becoming a banker, a lawyer, a doctor? Yes, I know BTech is there, but we do have a lot of kids who would rather a trade. And I just would like to know if there is a plan or if there is something down the pipeline to get those kids' attention at that stage rather than waiting until after, being more proactive in a sense, because we don't want to, they're leaving high school all optimistic. They want to do this, they want to do that. I would rather capture them there, that when they leave high school, they don't have anything to do, and all the optimism is gone, the motivation is gone. I would love to capture them there. And they're still young, still need that push, need guidance. That's what I'm more interested in, because they're our future. And if we fail them at that point, we're going to have a bill to pay later on. So that's what I called in about.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller. We have one more caller. We're going to grab that caller and give you, both of you, an opportunity to respond to both. So this will be our last call. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Hello, caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Ms. Susan, that person isn't listening. I'm hearing a lot of background noise. Give you an opportunity to respond to the last caller, folks.
Well, maybe I could respond to the first one. I have got a couple of comments on the last one as well, which I thought was a really good set of points, actually. But first of all, I thank you very much for all your great wishes, everybody. It's wonderful to be here today. And I just wanted to reflect on what somebody was saying about, where we have all this power and authority or whatever it is. I'm often very struck by taking on this role as governor. I'm very struck by the weight of the role, and I see it as kind of a huge responsibility and accountability. It's a real opportunity to be of service, and I'm very aware of the need to work together to demonstrate that leadership. So it's partly about leadership, but it's a lot about listening. It's a lot about listening to our teams, listening to the commentary that's out there in the whole community. And I think, as I've said before, it's more about partnership than it is about authority. And I think that's what we're determined to do together, is to continue to feel the real privilege of having these roles, but to work really hard to serve as a result of that. And I'm sure Miss Gloria will have more to say about the second caller, but and exactly what we can do for kids who are leaving in year 11. But I absolutely agree with the sentiment that was expressed by the caller. The world is changing.
Yes.
Academics are changing. The attraction of getting a degree is still pretty much there, but it's not the only option. I think a lot of young people are very aware of the other options. There's really exciting things you can do in trade. there are opportunities here in Cayman in areas like IT, but also hospitality, carpentry. You know, it's all the development and construction that's going on. It's really exciting. So I totally agree with you that we need to make sure that those prospects are there, because there's a lot of young people, and I would endorse this, who want to earn some money, get up in the morning and have a lot of colleagues, do something that's of interest, and maybe do something either that's very focused on what they can do with their hands, or that they can do to do customer service. So I think we should really look at that.
Absolutely. You've really touched on that. I would say, I'll start with the second caller first. I know that this is something that the Ministry of Education is looking very keenly at, expanding the opportunities available for technical and vocational training. Within our own portfolio, one of the units that we have is our Educational Standards Unit, and they don't just look at evaluating schools just based on sort of leadership, but they're also looking at the diversity of the curriculum that they have, and whether programs, including vocational programs, are also up to standard is an area that they're expanding their focus in. I can see, both from my own nieces and nephews, that they are getting greater exposure within our high schools to that. My nephew, who's amazing at understanding sort of engines and things, you know, the way things work, you know, he's getting to work on cars and understanding the mechanics. And when I was recently up for the funeral service of our former Chief Secretary, the Honorable James Ryan, I took the morning that I had off, and I was able to tour unofficially the new high school in Cayman Brac. And of all the things that I was impressed by, going into that section where they will have the same facilities to support students in the Brac, also getting access to curriculum for being able to become auto mechanics and understanding those sort of technical trades. I thought that was so important, that opportunity is available across both of the islands, not just here in Grand Cayman. I know that we try to create a bridge as well, so with the work that's happening within the schools to give greater access to technical and vocational training, through our Emerging Talent Program, we have also hired in a number of those graduates from the PWD, who also does an apprenticeship program. Yes. So we wanted to make sure that our sort of leading subject matter experts in vocational areas, technical areas at our Public Works Department, that they were paying it back by also bringing in students and giving them training, both the academic training to understand and be able to get their licensing qualifications, but also the practical experience that's required to get those licensing qualifications. Those graduates have gone into, we've hired some into both Public Works itself, so they have joined the ranks of the people that were previously their mentors. They're now, some of them are now employed at Public Works. But another area that we've really struggled, not just to get Caymanians into, but to find persons around the world who could go into these positions that are in such high demand, is in our planning department. So through our Emerging Talent Program, we've also hired some of the graduates from the PWD's apprenticeship program to come into planning and to be able to support on how we're able to ensure all these applications that are coming in through the construction that is booming in Cayman, that we're being able to put Caymanians who have an understanding of construction as a result of the training they've undertaken, being a part of the licensing arm of government as well. So we're trying to support these programs by not working in silos. So as Public Works is developing it, the apprenticeship program for practical training and licensing, the schools are supporting the educational requirements and giving children early access to it. And then we're coming along within the civil service and hiring some of those individuals into our folds, both at planning and at PWD.
Excellent.
So there's more we can do, but we're making stronger and stronger starts at this.
Okay, Ms. Gloria, since you have the mic, I want to give you an opportunity for some closing comments, and then the governor after you.
Thank you. And I'll use this time to really answer the first caller just now, and to say that I completely echo the governor's comments about this being tremendous responsibility, but also a privilege. Mr. Manderson has said, and I have found this to be true both in my former role, but even more so now in this role, that in the public service, we have the ability to make lives better. And as you become more and more senior, the simple use of a pen and the application of your signature can completely make someone's entire life better. And the fact that we have that ability to do that, I think, is just a tremendous opportunity, a tremendous privilege, and something that we seek to apply in as many opportunities as we can. It has been really amazing for me to reflect as I've come into this position, the amount of tremendous initiatives that are underway, both within the portfolio that I've had the privilege of working with for the last 16 years, our portfolio of the civil service, the amazing work that's happening in the office of the Deputy Governor, but from my vantage point now as Deputy Governor, having that exposure to the innovation that is happening across the civil service. Mm-hmm. Not only do I look forward to using this office to being able to help members of our community directly, but I intend to really be a catalyst for supporting the change that is happening within individual ministries so that we're able to really bring with greater pace our ability to realize the government's aspirations for this country, and that we're able to increasingly have citizens of this country see how the civil service is making their lives better. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much, Governor.
Yeah, thank you. Just a couple of things. I think, first of all, to say thank you very much to all our callers. Thanks to you, OC. It's great to be in a position to be working together with Deputy Governor. I feel very confident. That's the first thing. I feel very confident about where Cayman is at the moment. The economy is going very well. I know that sometimes we don't all feel it, in day-to-day life, but the good news is that the economy is doing really well. Financial services is booming, tourism is booming. That has to be a good thing for all of us. And we've got some fantastic talent on the island, both excellent Caymanians, but some fantastic international people as well. So we should feel really confident about that. The other thing I wanted to say, as Premier is not here, it's amazing working with the government of Andre Ebanks and all of his cabinet ministers. And I do feel that we're in a position where we can move forward quite quickly. It's interesting that they're very clear about what they want to do. They're not afraid to take difficult decisions. They're putting a lot of money behind it, and they're very structured about exactly how they're going to deliver. And that is something that we feel and we continue to deliver through the civil service and through Deputy Governor. So that's another reason why I'm confident. But having said that, there will be lots of challenges out there for the future, both internationally and domestically. We have to be prepared to change. If we want to continue to be strong, we have to be prepared to transform and develop. And I'm sure that will be an agenda that Deputy Governor can help to lead Cayman through. So as we look forward, I hope everyone has a bit of a break over the summer. I hope Miss Gloria even manages to have a little bit of a break in August. But we're looking to the future with confidence and resolve. Thank you.
Yeah, and talking about those changes and challenges, with the change in prime ministership in the UK as well, we may have to make adjustments to those changes, as well. And speaking of the Premier and his ministers, I want to remind you that on Monday, the 13th of this month, the Premier, as well as Minister Catherine Ebanks-Wilkes and Minister J. Ebanks will be in the studio with me on For the Record to give an update on Cayman Forward, and I believe there's a press briefing sometime today as well in relation to that. Governor, DG, thank you very much for spending, such valuable time with us right here on For the Record, talking to the people of the Cayman Islands. I'm sure that they appreciate it. We appreciate it as well. To our listening audience, I say to you, have a great weekend. Remember, join Mr. Charles Glidden Shallow at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to continue to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice.